Good day to everybody out there. This is See Thy Wealth, Water Your Health, drink a glass of water. In today's video, I want to talk about why I'm not investing in another Nama juicer. And I like to start this video off by saying I bought two Nama juices previously to this new sale that they have going on. I love the first one. When I first bought that one, I have the first one. And then I bought the Nama J2 a couple years ago, back in 2023. And I believe after I bought that Nama J2, they had another one that had a bigger top part so you can fit more produce in it. And I love it. I love that juicer. I love what it does. I love the amount of juice that comes back from it. I love how easy it is to clean it. I'm not sure there's much I could say that I dislike about it. And the reason why I won't be purchasing another Nama J2 is because I live in the tropics. What does that got to do with juice, see? I live in the tropics where coconuts are grown. And they're in abundance. In the States where I lived, even in Los Angeles, coconuts were there, but they cost. And I'm a frugal shopper. I'm a smart shopper. I don't believe there's any amount of money you could put on your health. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. And I bought coconuts all the time. And they're $4.99 a piece in Whole Foods. They used to be $2.99. Now they're $4.99, I believe. So, and you never know how much water you were going to get in the coconut. So you could buy a $5 coconut and you get less than a cup sometimes. So I always would check to see how heavy they were. But anyway, I live here in the tropics where coconuts are in abundance. So I don't really feel like there's a need for me to make any juice. I love the fruits as they are. I don't need to make any. No, I would say this. If I didn't have a juicer, then maybe I would invest in a juicer, even though I am here with a bunch of coconuts, because one thing for sure is greens. Although I don't mind eating greens, I feel like it's easier to juice them for consumption. That's just me. I do love my salads, but green juices, they go directly to the bloodstream and they're really good. But if I didn't have a juicer, I would buy a Nama. Me personally, I know there's another one out there called the Cuvings or Covings that Brandon Ahmad, he promotes. And then there's a couple other knockoff brands out there. But, you know, essentially being here in the tropics where there's so much coconuts, that's my liquid of choice. I made some juice here one time. I used a watermelon rind. I used some callaloo. And I believe I used some grapes, seeded grapes. And that was okay. But as I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, I don't mind eating the fruit whole, because you're getting everything that you're supposed to get from the fruit when you eat it whole. You're getting the fiber, you're getting the water, the hydration, and you're getting all the nutrients and everything that you're supposed to get from it holistically, as opposed to separating the juice from the cucumber or the juice from the apple or the juice from the grapes. You're getting all of it. So that would be my reason for not investing in another Nama. And I'm going to be honest with you. Yesterday, as I was sitting down looking at Jillian Berry's video with her husband, I was like, damn, maybe I should get a Nama, because I love the Nama. But then I started to think, how often am I really going to drink juice? Especially when I can go and get a gallon of coconut water for $10 US. It makes no sense. $10 US for a gallon of coconut water, and that's the best and purest form of hydration, coconut water. Why would you, if you lived in the tropics and you got coconut trees on your land where you can get them for free when it's time, when they grow in, because like I said in the previous video, I had them pruned and they're not growing right now. So by next year, they'll be probably back in abundance. But why would you, if you live in the tropics with coconut waters for $10 a gallon in a local village, $10 US, why would you invest in a juicer? Doesn't make any sense, because coconut water has all the electrolytes that you can need. Well, let's back up. If you already have a juicer, the Nama, Why would you invest in another one if you have plenty of coconuts around you? Or you can go and get a gallon for $10 a gallon. It just doesn't make any sense. So to spend that kind of money on a juicer, they're not cheap. You know, you're gonna pay at least $500 even after the the percentages off that they have for it. Shipping, I think that's a really big thing too. I don't even live in the States where you can get it shipped directly to you. So that's a whole nother headache. I haven't had anything shipped here to me in this new country. And I'm not going to start off by buying a juicer and having that shipped here with the risk of it getting lost in the sauce and me not ever getting it back or getting it. So I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to keep what I have and I'm going to utilize that until it burns out. And if I have to pay for a price for a Nama J2 juicer, then I would. I'm not trying to tell anybody not to buy the Nama. In fact, I encourage it. That if you ask me what juicer should you get, I would say go get the Nama. Go get the Nama. That's what I prefer. And I like the way it works. I like how it doesn't have a lot of noise to it, how easy it is to clean. You could put all your fruits in it at one time and it just goes and it goes and it goes and it creates the juice. As opposed to the first Nama where you had to keep loading it into the feeder and keep loading it. This new one is really one of a kind. And if I didn't have a juicer here, I would definitely order it. And I probably wouldn't even have it shipped. I would go and pick it up from the States and just bring it back in my luggage and pay the import tax. That's my opinion. So, you know, health is one of the major things out here. And I know that a lot of people, they aren't able to eat greens because they're just not tasty. But when you put greens in a juice form and you put in some apples with it, or you put in some grapes that are sweet, or you put it in another form of a sweet fruit, it makes the greens that much more digestible and palatable. So I'm always encouraging people to kind of take advantage of juicing, take advantage of eating fresh hydrating fruits and vegetables if you can. But I know that everybody doesn't have the money to purchase a Nama, but I feel like you should. If you can afford a cell phone like this, then you could definitely afford to buy a Nama J2 juicer. And to be honest with you, the Nama J2 juicer, the juice is way more healthier for you than a damn cell phone with all this radiation and whatever other toxic trait or whatever other toxic, whatever else that's toxic, it's coming from this. So, you know, I encourage you to go out and get a juicer, take care of your health, which is to me, your wealth. Your wealth is your health. And there's no amount of money you could put on that, because guess what? If you get sick, you got to take out of your job, which is causing you to lose money, or you're going to have to go to the hospital, which costs money. Your insurance isn't going to cover all of it. So I would suggest you to be taking care of your health now, which they say is preventative maintenance. In other words, proper preparation beats poor performance. In other words, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And if you're watching this video, I appreciate you for tapping in. If you could, hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're new to the channel and you're subscribing, when you hit subscribe, hit that notification bell all, so you're getting all of my messages that's coming through, and I greatly appreciate it. This is See Thy Wealth, which means water your health. Drink a glass of water.